Welcome, everybody, to the Ring Generals podcast. On today's show, we'll be talking a lot of UFC. We'll be talking a lot of WWE. John Cena and Nikki Bella has got a little bit more interesting. And we'll also dive into a little bit of some more stuff. We can talk about whatever we want, though, guys. I'm Nick Nenad. Alongside me is Eric.
What's going on?
And the RKJ man.
What's up, y'all? Let's talk that talk.
Guys, we have a lot to talk about. You know, doing this thing every 2 weeks now has made us have a lot of topics to discuss. So, Ryan, you know what? I want you to tell us, what do you want to talk about first? Because there is a lot to discuss.
I want to talk about that crappy, cringy promo with Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax.
Good start.
Yeah. Ryan Rants, right? That's not Ryan Rants.
No, it's not Ryan Rax.
No.
Somebody got turned into a bitch this week.
Ryan Rax.
Somebody got
screwed up in the first minutes.
Oh, it wasn't me. That was Eric.
You said Ryan Rax.
No.
You did not say Ryan Rax.
No.
There was no N or there was no T in that word. There was a,
hey,
there was a C and a K.
Let me explain something.
No
For Ryan Rants, somebody got turned into a bitch this week. And I can't wait to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We actually were going to give you a preview before I talk about it. But,
of course.
But
yeah.
Woo-wee. Yeah, you're going to have to get that. You're going to have to get that criticism, bro. Come on, man. You can't come with that weak shit. We in the Western Conference Finals, man. You got to make all your jumpers and all your dunks.
Now, I did not get the Western Conference Finals part of that, but I do understand what you're talking about. By the way, what he's saying is we're going to talk a lot of shit on John Cena in about 15 minutes. Okay? We are going to tear John Cena apart in about 15 minutes.
That's it. I'm slotting their DMs tonight. I'm sliding there. Yeah,
I'm more
creepy.
I'm more.
RKJ man is returned.
I'm more interested in this than writing this damn paper. 3-4 page paper.
Can I just say something real quick? So the little coffee shop we got over here, right next to where we record, there is a different type of coffee they put in the damn machine every single time. It is super annoying. Every single time I get this iced coffee, because iced coffee is my drink of choice. It is cheap at Starbucks. Although Starbucks been having a lot of problems lately, so I don't know if I'm gonna be going to Starbucks anymore.
Oh, they don't like black people.
Well, I'm not black, so I'm not worried about that, right? But
I can go in there. Hey, man, I'm not sure if they talk about us. You know, are you sure they're not talking about bad about us?
Bad about what do you mean bad about us?
You know, bad about us Hispanics too.
I don't know. I see Eric's trying to be black again.
I mean, I don't know.
Eric tried to sneak in being black right there. And it just didn't work.
You have the president of the United States talking bad about y'all. So I don't think you need to worry about Starbucks. You need to worry about the president talking bad about y'all.
That is true. Oh, well.
Starbucks might have more power than the president, to be honest. Everybody goes to Starbucks every single day. They control our whole society. You know how many people are hopped up on coffee every single morning because of Starbucks?
I don't know. I don't
yes,
care.
You do. You know,
Starbucks is overrated to me.
I think it is too.
I think it's overrated.
Where do you go?
Dunkin' Donuts is where to go.
I don't go anywhere to get my coffee. I don't drink coffee like that.
You don't drink coffee?
I drink sweet tea. Y'all know this.
Does that wake you up? Is there stuff to wake you up? I did not know that, but I like coffee better anyway. So
occasionally I'll drink my Coke or, something else, but mostly I don't really drink that much caffeine.
Well, as you two know too, I decided to kind of give up soda too about a year ago too.
Yeah, you're drinking iced coffee. Is it sweetened, Nick?
I have no idea what it is. I just say, can I get a nice coffee? And whatever they put in the cup ends up being what I drink. I honestly don't. It doesn't matter. It just.
By the way, you better hide that before somebody comes in and see the fact you have an iced coffee.
I have a banana on the top of this thing. It's the last day here. It's the last day in this studio of the semester, so I don't need to, We recorded at college, so there's a lot of classes that are down the hall.
Hold on, let's get this talking.
What
were you talking about?
Well, you wanted to talk about Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax.
You were talking about something else.
Horrendous promo.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what we were talking about before. We'll figure it out.
You were mentioning John Cena. It doesn't matter. Let's just talk about this right now.
Yeah, let's talk about the fact that first of all, what did you guys think about how Nia Jax approached her? It was just really weird.
Well, no,
it was like we were on Total Divas, like doing a promo, like what, like. You don't need to keep doing that just because you show that you have a personality outside the ring. Your outside persona and your in-ring persona sometimes has to be a little bit different. Okay, you can't always, like, a few months ago, she was this irresistible force who didn't really say anything, but was just kicking people's ass. And now she's just this smiley-go-lucky baby face. I just overcame the bullying of Alexa Bliss. And that's just, to me, that's ridiculous, okay? You're going to let, Like the fact that Alexa Bliss is bullying around Nia Jax is
No,
ridiculous.
that happens in real life though. There's little girls that bully bigger girls. I mean, I feel like there's more fat shaming than there is bullying of like tiny kids. I would, okay. Nia Jax is a bigger woman. Can we all agree with that?
Yeah.
She has said
Okay.
it herself.
All right.
No. I'm not making fun of her. I'm just saying she's a bigger woman. Alexa Bliss is like 5 foot tall, maybe 100 pounds. Okay.
5 feet of fury.
Yeah, 5 feet of fury.
She's
But-
small when we saw her.
Oh, Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw her live. But well, I don't even know what the hell I was gonna say. You know what? Let's just move on. I was gonna say something about like little kids bullying big kids, and
I
it's
don't
like
know.
that's not gonna work out. It's not
This
gonna.
isn't gonna work.
We're gonna turn it into a 10-minute segment that's not gonna matter.
This is good. And then the Me Too movement police are gonna come
No, it
after
has
us for
nothing-
it.
bullying of teens in high school has nothing to do with the Me Too movement.
Hey, look, I'm
Not everything in the Me Too
I'm
movement.
against fat shaming, but I'm also against being fat. Okay,
I
So-
could not agree with that more.
like I try, like I'm gonna work my butt off this summer to try to make sure I'm not fat. Okay, because we cook some good food during the house, and when football
That's
season
true.
comes on, like I really want to pig out.
The way
But-
Ryan's house eats, that he's bound to be fat in like 3 months.
yeah,
He's bound to be fat in like
Yeah.
3 months.
Pound that buffet.
Yeah, like stress eating is a thing. Like so, like I'm against being fat, but I'm against fat shaming. But if it makes you less fat, okay, your ass needs to be fat shamed.
So then you're for fat
I don't
shaming.
know. I don't know.
You can't be against fat shaming and then say, but then we should fat shame these people.
This is the fat shaming
That
segment
makes
right
no
here.
sense. That's like saying, I don't want to be a racist, but I really hate that Mexican guy over there.
That is
Right,
true.
like,
That is true.
It's the same thing.
That is
man.
true.
You can't
That
say,
is true. That is true.
yeah, like, but
I got that from the podcast I'm listening to. I said you guys think all the time.
nonetheless, Nia. Okay, I'm just kind of getting sick of these promos always seeming very scripted, aren't you guys?
It is very scripted.
Yeah.
Over these past few years now.
And the fact that kayfabe is so not alive anymore is very annoying.
Well,
I mean, Charlotte, let's at least once try to not break kayfabe.
Hold on, real
Okay.
quickly. What? Come on, somebody explain to me how Charlotte's there and yet your SmackDown Live Women's
I
Champion
don't
is not
understand
there,
that
Carmella. Like we talked a little bit about this on the phone, Nick, a few days ago, and I think it's very odd and interesting that Charlotte is there and and Carmella still overseas on the tour, but Nia Jax is over there. For me personally, if I was Carmella, I'd be going to management like, what's going on?
True.
Like I'm the champion right now. I won the briefcase. Y'all booked me to beat her twice. I should have the opportunity to fly to the NBC up fronts, or at least have both of us there. But I guess they figured, hey, we need to have one person there. And once again, I keep telling y'all, it's that Charlotte Flair name. It's that Charlotte Flair
Well, it's
name.
because of
It's
her
that.
dad.
It's that. That's the reason why we're seeing Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey at 35 next year, WrestleMania 35. That's the reason why we're gonna see it. What's up? What's up, Eric?
Do you think that they are not putting any confidence in Carmella?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Well,
110%.
exactly.
With that belt that she won.
Yeah, and it is weird. It's like a total shot at her for essentially no reason. Because Carmella, she has a good character. She's able to speak on the mic, better than Charlotte. I'll say that. The wrestling skills are not there yet.
Oh yeah, the wrestling skills. I don't know if it's ever going
But
to
she
be
is
there.
coming. Charlotte's coming from a clear wrestling background, where Carmella's coming from being a Laker girl like 5 years ago. So
Yes.
it's
Laker girl.
it's I'm trying not to laugh.
You know why?
It's an inside joke. I'm sorry. But so Carmella's wrestling skills, back to serious stuff. Carmella's wrestling skills aren't gonna 100% be there this early in her career. Plus, she was a manager for a while and wasn't really wrestling for the first part of her career too. So she's really only been an in-ring performer for, I'd say, maybe the last 3 years, maybe last 3 years. So, but that doesn't matter. She's the champion, and she pinned Charlotte Flair clean.
Well, Charlotte Flair's only been in the ring for about 3-4 years.
No, but her
too.
dad's Ric Flair, though.
But her dad wasn't training her.
I know.
her dad
but
wasn't
it's in
training
the
her.
genes. It's in the genes. I was actually
Oh.
reading something the other day that like stuff you do, that's like, that's not necessarily super genetic could actually create genes.
That makes zero sense.
Well, it's hard to explain because I'm not a scientist and I don't know about science, but it was nonetheless like if you well, for example, because Ric Flair wrestled his whole life and did it so often, it actually ends up becoming in your genes. Like they found a statistic or a scientific information that said if you do something over and over and over and over again, it actually does end up getting in your kid's genes. So Charlotte actually has the wrestling gene in her, and that's why she's so good. Now, Charlotte Flair is still even a little bit raw in the ring, but she's not as raw as Charlotte or Carmella. But you gave the title to Carmella. You had her defeat Charlotte at Backlash clean. You need to have her at the NBC up front. And it's not like Carmella's an unattractive person either. She's a very attractive person. So I don't understand that. I think WWE becomes super hypocrites when they want to put guys over, but then they constantly throw these people like Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair at us all the time. It's strange. It's not what they used to do, and I think that's why a lot of fans get annoyed by this kind of stuff.
We're gonna find out on Money in the Bank on who wins that briefcase and who's gonna cash it in on Carmella, or if Carmella is going to lose that title anytime soon, since we aren't seeing any confidence being put into Carmella. You know, who knows?
That's a good point he makes. Maybe they're going to take the title off her pretty soon.
So you brought up something very interesting, and we sort of touched on this, but we really haven't delved deep into this topic. And I want to talk a little bit about this. You just mentioned Charlotte and Roman Reigns in the same sentence, actually in the same breath. And I want to talk a little bit about the fact that Charlotte seems like she may be getting a Roman Reigns push. So let's look at the stats here. She beat Asuka and defeated Asuka's streak at WrestleMania. She's scheduled to face, as of right now, Ronda Rousey next year at WrestleMania 35.
That's just your opinion. That's not a statistical fact. You got to get off this WrestleMania 35 thing, man. We're in May.
Let me explain.
We're in May. There's stuff that happens in
everything you do throughout the year is leading up to that. Even SummerSlam, which is the WWE's second biggest pay-per-view, leads up to WrestleMania. Everything you do throughout the year leads up to your biggest pay-per-view of the year. That's where all your booking ends. And Charlotte, the fact that Charlotte Flair was there with Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax proves to me something, that they are heavily, heavily thinking about putting Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey in WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium to be the first ever female main event. I'm talking about the legit main event of a WrestleMania, the ending match of that show. They're legitimately thinking about that. So for me personally,
not in stone, like you're saying.
But hold on. Well, Nick, do you think she's beating Asuka this year at WrestleMania if they're not making plans to do it next year?
No. I'm saying making plans is different than it's set like The Rock and John Cena back in 2012 or whenever it was, when they said on Raw, "Hey, we're facing at WrestleMania next year." That is scheduled to happen. Hey, we're gonna have the match. You're just saying it because we know WWE, we know how WWE storylines work, and we have a hunch that might happen. But if Charlotte gets freaking injured, that match ain't happening.
Okay,
it's not scheduled to happen.
Okay, so yes. we're arguing about something that's premature right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that the fans are going to turn on Charlotte like they have turned on Roman Reigns?
No, because Charlotte Flair is not annoying like Roman Reigns. And Charlotte's not I don't know, she's not a heelish face. Like Roman is a heel, okay? Even the way he talks trying to be a baby face, he acts like a heel. So people want to inherently boo him anyways because he's kind of annoying the way he talks. Like he's got that kind of what's the word for it? Not sarcastic. Yeah, what are you going to say?
Artificial push that they gave him.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just even the way he talks on the mic. It's hard.
Forced. It's forced.
It's forced. Yeah. Exactly. So it's very annoying. Charlotte is not as forced because then she backs it up and all that stuff. And
really, I've heard a lot of people say Charlotte's promos. Didn't you just say 5-10 minutes ago that
Carmella is a better promo person than Charlotte? I'm not saying Charlotte is a bad promo person. Is Roman Reigns, for example. That is someone that is not good at saying promos. He can't get his bass in his voice a lot of the times when he's talking. Charlotte...
No, Jinder Mahal can't get his bass in his voice.
That's true. That's true also. And now they're having a storyline with each other. So
good God.
The promos are going to be off the charts.
Good God, I don't want to see that.
But wait, would you rather see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again? Would you rather see Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal?
I would want Roman Reigns off my television
I do too.
completely.
You know what I was hoping would happen on Raw last week? I was hoping he'd go back and like talk to Vince again, and he'd get just fired or whatever, and like get suspended for like a month. Me and my brother were cheering so hard for that to happen.
No, that didn't happen.
So yeah, but nonetheless,
I'm not. I hate to
go
cut you
ahead.
off. Nick.
No, you're fine.
I'm not sure if you guys heard about plans that they're. Well, I'm not sure if this is legit or this is a legit source that I got, but I do hear that they're gonna pair up Roman Reigns with the Authors of Pain. I'm not sure if you guys heard about that.
That seems like a more of a fan rumor to me.
Yeah,
I've seen that too, but
now I would
it's
like
never-
Roman Reigns to be paired up with the Usos. I think that would be a better pairing, a heelish Samoan faction like that. Him, the Usos, and Naomi and Tamina. That's a dominant group.
It's Tamina too. That's a good point.
That's an
Yeah,
unstoppable
Tamina.
stable right there. You know?
Well, yeah, isn't Nia Jax would be putting that thing too because
Yeah, I
Nia
don't
Jax
think
is
so.
part of that family too.
Nia Jax would be the face who rebels against him, so you have a storyline between her and Naomi. It writes itself in storyline. But let's getting back to the point in regards to Charlotte Flair and Roman Reigns comparisons, I don't see it necessarily yet, but they just got to be careful how they book Charlotte Flair in the year prior if they are going to do this matchup, because I think that's where they're headed to. Because you see Charlotte Flair there with Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. I mean, you have to think in the back of your mind, oh, they're seriously thinking about this. They really want this to happen. My only thing is this. After you challenge somebody, and get back to this Nia Jax thing, after you challenge somebody, don't go off and hug them and be friends with them. Don't be on that kumbaya BS. Like, come on, man.
It's so stupid. It's just stupid. Okay, as a professional wrestler, to hit a promo on someone, Nia Jax, to be honest, acts like a bitch towards Ronda Rousey, and then it's picture time or whatever, and hey, let's hug it out right after. Does that make any sense?
And then Charlotte comes in the middle of it, it's like, this is going to be awesome, and looks at the camera. I'm just like, what in the world is going on here? Is this women's revolution about, oh my God, we're just so happy to be here and making history? Or is this women's revolution about actually advancing and doing things that are different and trailblazing? Because it seems like it's more about, we're just happy to be doing unique things now.
Like the announcement for the Royal Rumble, for the Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, that was BS too.
Yeah.
Everybody come out
It's the same
crying
exact thing, yeah.
and non-kayfabe just crying and hugging with each other.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. I want to see everybody start fighting with one another. You know how I would have booked it? I've been like, everybody's fighting to the point where Stephanie McMahon comes out and says, hey, look, this is too much. Y'all got to have a women's Royal Rumble. We got to have a Royal Rumble to see who's really the better woman from both
That's how they
brands.
used to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
how I liked it. I mean, shoot, man. I think they should have a 6-woman Hell in a Cell. I mean, that 6-pack Hell in a Cell back in 2000.
Oh yeah, I remember that, dude. I remember that pay-per-view Armageddon 2000, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Is that
And
the
the
one where Rikishi got thrown off the top of the
Yeah.
cell?
yeah.
Triple H, Kurt Angle, Rikishi, Undertaker, Triple H, and also
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Yeah,
You ever hear the story? You ever heard Rikishi tell that story and say he was absolutely terrified to take that bump off the cell though?
I mean, it was protected though. It was the
No, I know, but
definition
he still thought something was gonna go wrong.
well, Undertaker kept his word. He was going to
Yeah.
make somebody famous that night, and he did.
Exactly.
dude. I mean, the dude.
The Usos would have never been born, man.
Uh,
The Usos would have never been born. That tag team you're talking about would have never been able to happen if Rikishi would have died that night. Undertaker would have literally been the Taker of Souls or whatever the hell his
Yeah.
name was back then.
American Badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was American Badass.
He wasn't back.
All right. So anyway, getting back to this promo, can we speculate now what we think is going to happen at Money in the Bank, or y'all want to wait?
No, I think they're having a match.
But no, I know what's going to happen. I know they're having the match. But do you think, number one, is Ronda Rousey going to be able to hold her own? Because I remember in our phone conversation, Nick, I was concerned that Nia Jax is not, and I know I'm using this because this is not pun intended, but Nia Jax, for me, isn't a ring general. So she isn't the type of person that can lead in a match. We saw Nia
Agree.
Jax almost freaking drop Asuka. Actually, she did drop Asuka on her head. Like, there's been several instances on live television on Raw, because that thing is live, where we seen her, and I'm just like, that's a botch. And we were at Monday Night Raw, and we completely saw a botch too. Like, we seen her botch and almost kill somebody. So
I mean, almost kill is.
Well, okay, that's a little too much. Almost drop somebody on their head. That's okay, which can almost kill somebody. Yes, okay. So technically, maybe. But look, I'm concerned because Ronda Rousey, she hasn't been on television that much, so I can assume she's been working on her wrestling skills for God knows. I mean, for God knows how long. But hopefully, she's been working on her wrestling skills. She needs somebody there with. She needs a Natalia. She needs a who else? Who else? Mickey James. She needs those type of performers who can help her and guide her through a match.
But those wrestlers aren't over like Nia Jax is. You're not going to put Ronda Rousey in the match with people that aren't over.
Nia Jax isn't over.
Yes, she is.
How is Nia Jax over?
She's over. Did you hear? You heard the crowd reaction when she won the title.
It's just not
at WrestleMania.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good for a crowd that was dead too.
Really?
Like considering that, yeah, people were happy. People wanted
pissed
Nia Jax to win that title.
Because I had said it myself. I had said Alexa Bliss was going to get the cheers, and I didn't really hear it, and I just thought that was because the crowd was tired.
Well, no, it's because I think they knew that you're going to cheer Alexa Bliss or whatever, but I think they knew Nia Jax. Nia Jax should win that match.
I mean,
it's what was going to happen.
Say what you want to say, but I just don't have the faith in Nia Jax because Nia Jax clearly has to be the ring general. She clearly has to lead Ronda Rousey to a high quality match.
Maybe you could have like special referee in the match.
Maybe
they could help them out,
and maybe that
Alexa Bliss referee. Who knows?
Maybe Natalia, because Alexa Bliss is in Money in the Bank. You have a Natalia referee.
What does
in the
Natalia
match.
have anything to do with it?
Natalia is Ronda Rousey's friend, and you set up a storyline where you have Natalia and Ronda Rousey. Obviously, Natalia turns on Ronda Rousey, and she has to get some type of revenge on Natalia. But I'm thinking at this point in the game, you have to be careful because this is her second match, and this is her first one-on-one match, and she's already getting a chance at the title. And people are already bitching and moaning about that. So if people are complaining about this already, what's going to happen if she wins this title at Money in the Bank?
Who is bitching and moaning though?
Everybody on social. Do you really look?
No.
Okay, I know it's finals week. Everybody's stressed out. I'm stressed out.
Man, I did a presentation about social media addiction the other day.
But
I can't be just on Twitter the whole day.
Look,
I would be super hypocritical.
Everybody and their mom is saying that that Ronda Rousey's too early to be in this match. But the problem is, you can't really, like you said it to me, and other people have said this. You can't put her in Money in the Bank. You can't put her in a ladder match.
You can't put her in a dangerous match like that.
That's
no way.
too damn dangerous.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. And this is why I always ask, because when people complain, a lot of times they don't have an alternative. And I'll speak to the alternative as the title itself. Who else would face Nia Jax right now that deserves it? Eric, who else would face Nia Jax right now? On the Raw brand, because obviously it has to be a Raw superstar.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. I mean, Alexa.
It's not going to be Alexa.
It's not going to be Alexa.
That storyline's over.
It's
over. She hurt her shoulder.
But I'm pretty sure. That's true. I do remember seeing that. But I mean, whoever comes out of this Money in the Bank match, Alexa Bliss. Who else is in the Money in the Bank match? Ladder match.
I can't remember right now.
Yeah.
Ryan,
okay.
Can you clarify who's in the match real quick?
Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. No, but yeah,
they're still in the match though.
Yeah, they're still in the match. Charlotte Flair, I think Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss. Ember Moon so far.
Moon. That's right.
Okay, so I can see more confidence being put in Ember Moon more than Alexa Bliss and Charlotte and, of course, Becky Lynch. I don't really see any plans for Becky Lynch anytime soon. I think she's probably going to be locked up in a feud with, I don't know, maybe Sonya Deville or also Mandy Rose. Well, I think so.
I think Becky Lynch needs to turn heel. I think it's time for her to. She's always said she wanted to be a villain. She was a villain on the Independents before she came into the WWE. I think it's time for her to turn heel. I would like for her to turn heel against Charlotte first, and then have Charlotte move on.
I would love that.
Have Charlotte move on, and then I would like for the WrestleMania feud to be her against Asuka at WrestleMania. A heel Becky Lynch versus a face Asuka. With Asuka getting her win back, quote unquote, at WrestleMania, it seems like the best thing for me. And I think that's where they are headed. I think Becky Lynch's character is a little stale. Nobody's really invested in her character. She's still over, but I'm not invested in her character.
Over is maybe not the word. I think people like her.
People
I wouldn't
like
call her
She's
over
a likable
right
character.
now.
She's a likable character.
Yeah. Someone
but
that's
she needs
over
something
Ronda
different.
Rousey.
She
Becky
needs
Lynch is not.
She needs something different. She needs a change in scenery. She needs a change. She needs a change with her character work. And I think her turning heel, going from that person that everybody loves, that goody two shoes Irishman, to that just badass. Yeah, like I'm mad at the world. Nobody's really giving me the opportunity to succeed. I'm gonna be who I truly know I can be. That person, that Becky Lynch, that heel, and she's expressed wanting to do it. People really want to turn heel, man. Like, yeah.
True. Okay, so I like the Becky Lynch stuff, and I agree with you on that. But nobody answered my question. What would you do besides Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank? Who would face her? Because if you guys don't have an answer, then it's Ronda Rousey, and that's why I don't understand.
I'm just gonna pick. If you really want my opinion about who's gonna win, Nia and Ronda Rousey, I really believe.
I'm saying, who else would you have other than Ronda Rousey though in the match?
I don't know, maybe Sasha, but
maybe Sasha.
Mickey James, because they're wrestling. You know, Ronda Rousey.
You're telling me the WWE universe would be invested in Mickey James versus Nia Jax for the title?
We're talking about who Ronda Rousey face.
No, who would Nia Jax face for the title?
Oh yeah, Nia Jax versus Sasha, or Nia Jax versus Sasha and Bayley, but Bayley's already in the women's Money in the Bank. I forgot to mention her. So yeah.
So the clear match here to put is Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax, but for some reason people don't like it.
I mean,
it's the only match. Like, what do people want?
Well,
because you're not going to get Ronda Rousey and Charlotte right now. And it just seems like a lot of wrestling fans just want to look at WrestleMania all year and don't actually want to look at the other pay-per-views. And it's like, you can't call yourself a wrestling fan if you're just looking for WrestleMania the whole year.
I'm just saying, if that's the main pay-per-view, that's what we look for. That's what we look for. No, we want the best of the best. Yeah, we want them to give our best.
That's like saying you watch the NFL, but you only watch Super Bowl. No, you're not an NFL fan.
Yeah, that is true.
You're not an NFL fan. Like, if you're only watching the Super Bowl, you're like my mom, okay, who's not a sports fan. Who's like just watching the main event,
the World Series,
like, hey, yeah, exactly, just the World Series. You're not actually watching the regular season or watching your team. Most of the football is an easy example because it's only once a week and people can actually watch their team every single one of their games. When you're a baseball fan, it's hard to watch every single game. So I'm going to use football, but that's the thing. Like, you have to enjoy that Week 5 matchup against a team that's undefeated too, if you're really like invested in the product. And it just seems like a lot of these fans are just looking for SummerSlam or just looking for WrestleMania, and their opinions about Money in the Bank don't make any sense because they're looking too far ahead. Like, for example, not to call you out, RKJ man, but you're looking ahead to Charlotte and Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, and you're not enjoying anything else that's put on.
Because
it's annoying to hear
because all roads lead to WrestleMania.
I know
all roads lead to WrestleMania. So as a fan,
so do you hate every other pay-per-view because of that, though?
I don't hate every other pay-per-view. I just don't like it when they don't give us high quality stuff, except for around WrestleMania time. So if I know they're not going to give me high quality stuff around WrestleMania time, that is a very
fair point.
Like, if they're not going to give me high quality stuff around WrestleMania time, then why am I going to why am I going to be invested in all of these pay-per-views? There's 1,000,001 pay-per-views now, and I know they cut down on it, but still, if they're not going to give us a high quality, they're not going to give us high quality Raws, then why am I invested in watching Raw every single week? I didn't even watch Raw 2 weeks ago. Didn't even watch it. Had it recorded.
I didn't watch SmackDown.
Didn't watch it. Oh no, I watched SmackDown. SmackDown's my show, especially now. And rumor has it, by the way, SmackDown is could be getting shipped to other networks. So apparently NBC Universal is okay.
I did see that news.
Man, Fox is getting WWE so quick.
Yeah,
Fox is gonna get WWE.
Yeah, they're ready. They're like, apparently USA Network wants to keep Raw, but they're letting SmackDown be shipped around. That's what I'm hearing reports of. That's what the reports are saying. So if that is true, I think SmackDown is going to go to a Fox. And that's the reason. That makes sense now why SmackDown is so damn stacked. You got to have something that actually says to people, oh, we have these many stars. It's achieved this amount of ratings. This is why you want SmackDown on their show.
And that first SmackDown that's on Fox, you know who's coming back too?
The Rock.
John Cena probably.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock is a way better example, but I think he's too busy. John Cena, he's going to be on that SmackDown, that first SmackDown on Fox.
Speaking of John Cena,
before we get to John Cena, I think we should take a break with the WWE and take a look at the Indies. So it's time for Eric's Indie update. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got a lot of stuff. Some sad news I want to get to right now. Ricky Banderas, known as Mil Muertes, or as we know him also as Judas Macias, quits AAA. Now, he's pretty much tired of what's been happening over in AAA, over the mistreatment. And we all know that AAA has the sister other show of Lucha Underground. So it is unclear that he's going to be. Well, he is in season 4 of Lucha Underground, so we'll be seeing him in Lucha Underground in season 4. But it is unclear if he's going to be making his way over to the WWE. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. Over in Ring of Honor, CMLL star Atlantis will be making his debut on June 15th and in San Antonio, Texas, and also in the 16th in Dallas, Texas. He's competed in 1983. He's had rivalries with Villano 3 and also Ultimo Guerrero. He has appeared in Mexican movies and TV shows. So he's been around for 35 years, for a long time. So he's going to be making his a long-awaited debut. Also, Cody and Paige will be taking on the Briscoes for the tag team titles over in England, May 24th. And last but not least, I wanted to leave this at the very last part because I know that this is going to be very special. Over at NWA, Billy Corgan this week made an announcement that he's announced an event called All In. Now, this event is held in Chicago over at the Sears Center, and tickets already sold out. Within the amount of 20 minutes, it's sold out. And yes, so not only guys like Rey Mysterio will be there, and Tessa Blanchard, also known as Tully Blanchard's daughter from the Four Horsemen, many others will be there. And Nick Aldis will be set to defend his NWA Championship against Cody Rhodes. Now,
the American Nightmare.
Bear this in mind. His dad, his old man, wore that NWA Championship.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
So, what will happen if Cody Rhodes were to win that NWA Championship? So, you're going to have to find out. But here's the thing. Nick Aldis, nobody told him about the event. Nobody even gave him permission. Well, he didn't even get any permission to even defend the NWA Championship. So nobody came up to him and told him, hey, you're going to defend that NWA Championship up against Cody Rhodes. So Nick, he's pretty pissed off about it. He's pissed off at Billy. He's pissed off at the event. He says that, you know what, I'm not under contract, unlike Cody Rhodes, who has to answer to Ring of Honor. So Nick, he thinks that there's not going to be no all-in event at all until they talk to me about it, and I get some respect.
I like this. You got indie heat, man.
Yeah.
This is Montreal Screwjob-esque.
Yeah. This guy's saying the event ain't gonna happen unless you guys tell me what the hell is going on.
He's got until September. He's got until September for that to happen.
That's
but yeah, it's gonna take a while. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this guy?
Well, the all-in pay-per-view thing, this has been a huge. This actually might be the top topic in wrestling right now, in wrestling circle, because of how
it's John Cena and Nikki Bella.
No.
But let's be honest here.
That's mixed in with pop culture a little bit, so that's why it gets enhanced.
Yeah.
This just being a strictly wrestling thing, it is a big deal, and it's been talked about a lot. How an indie promotion actually sold out in 20 minutes. A promotion literally put on by essentially 3 guys, the Young Bucks, and Cody. So it's impressive because everyone's saying, wrestling's not in its twilight right now. Maybe WWE isn't in its twilight, but wrestling is, I believe, is in an all-time high right now. With this kind of stuff going on, and with how New Japan Pro Wrestling gets over essentially by itself in the U.S., wrestling's at a good place right now, and this is a good example.
I think this is a solid card. My only thing is this: we aren't going to be able to go to that pay-per-view. We're not going to be able to go to All In Chicago.
No, we can watch it though.
Yeah, how are we going to watch it?
On Facebook Live and also Twitch.
I don't want to do it on Facebook Live or Twitch.
You know what? To be honest, normally I'd argue about that, but I don't really want to watch it on Facebook.
Yeah,
either.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like you put a pay-per-view, you make me pay $40, and yeah.
$40. I don't know about that. I don't even know. I know like 4 of the guys in the whole thing.
Or maybe like $10. Maybe $10. Put it somewhere. Put it somewhere and let us watch it. Let us watch it. I guarantee you though, WWE is going to do a big show or do a big event around that time too, just to compete with that event. Just to compete with it. I guarantee it.
But isn't that like the next pay-per-view after SummerSlam? So it probably won't be like the craziest thing.
I mean, but I would do something, an NXT special show, something. Do something. Do something. I know the WWE always has tricks under their sleeves when it comes to those types of things because they don't want people competing with their brand. They don't want them competing directly with them. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I think this is going to be fantastic. I'm excited for All In. I think it looks great. The women's wrestlers there was it. We have Tessa Blanchard. Who else we got again, Eric?
Rey Mysterio, they just announced it.
Rey Mysterio isn't a female wrestler.
Yeah, he's not.
No, I'm saying is that they have yet to announce more wrestlers, but the only two that they announced are Rey Mysterio and Tessa Blanchard.
Okay.
Have you guys heard about Tessa Blanchard having heat with Stephanie McMahon?
Not at all.
Apparently, according people were saying that at the Mae Young. yeah, Dick. Apparently, people were saying at the Mae Young competition that Tessa Blanchard got into it with Stephanie McMahon. Apparently, she was tweeting or texting results of the competition to her friends, or it was talking to Dave Meltzer. Apparently, she has an attitude with all of her promotions. Apparently, because her and Ricochet just broke up. And, apparently there's a big...
I'm so glad you said that because I was just about to say she's going out with Ricochet.
Yeah, they had a big... yeah. Nah. But yeah, Ricochet is out here ricocheting some other women. But wow. But look, at the end of the day, Tessa Blanchard, she's a good wrestler. She's got a great look and she has an amazing body. Like that woman's body is freaking phenomenal.
Last minute for you has been fantastic. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tully Blanchard.
Oh my God! Shout out to
Tully Blanchard for putting his seed in another woman and creating that.
Yeah, Tessa is a beautiful looking woman.
4 horsemen
and
for
she
life.
Can work. She can work. She can work in the ring too. I think she's gonna go work in the WWE eventually. She's gonna eventually come over to WWE.
Everybody has to, right? Everybody's got it.
I mean, yeah, WWE's got to steal all the indie talent, right? Is that
who,
fair?
Who literally hasn't been? The Young Bucks. That's the only ones. Oh, and
Young Bucks,
Kenny
Omega. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it. But
you know what?
Eventually they're going to be there.
But you know what I like? If you're unhappy with your situation, just like anything in life, if you're unhappy with your situation, you don't have to stay there. You have options. Cody Rhodes was just like, or Cody, he was just like, look, dude, I'm unhappy here. I'm unhappy with this character y'all giving me. I'm going to leave. They're like, okay, we're going to take your name away, though, from your last name, so you won't be anything of value. He was like, okay, I'm going to make something up for myself. And he made the American Nightmare, and he had the Rhodes name attached to him, so people knew that. But he had to come out and create something for his brand that was different and unique, and good God.
True, and he got his wife over, too.
Yeah, and he got his wife over.
Who was just a ring announcer in WWE. But, so what were we going to say?
All I got to say to Cody is submit your legacy, kid. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely, and he's doing it on the Indies. He's not doing it in WWE.
Win that NWA championship if I were you.
Yeah, and the thing, and like I think I've said,
and he becomes more valuable then to the WWE when he does open up negotiations. Like he's like, oh, you're gonna pay me this money now, and speaking of you gonna pay me this money, I know we're jumping kind of around, but we've kind of talked about this. We're okay with doing this now. Daniel Bryan, in September, his contract is up. He hasn't signed a new contract, y'all. He hasn't signed a new contract.
He will, though. I don't think this is.
He will. Like now that he's clear to compete, I know he still has a lot to. He still has a lot of wrestlers he wants to go through. He talked about this on the Chris Jericho podcast, and he said that he still wants to have that match with Brock Lesnar.
There's a matchup that I'm looking forward to, and the guy just debuted, Andre Cien Almas versus Daniel Bryan. I don't know why, but that matchup for me in particular is something I'm very interested in seeing in the near future.
By the way, just speaking on Daniel Bryan, not his contract, but I do love the fact that he's not in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Because I think you've been talking about this building a guy up slowly. I think this is perfect for him because he's over. So the crowd doesn't need we don't need to see any more of Daniel Bryan than we're already seeing to still enjoy him and to still like him. So I think having him lose, and I don't necessarily know if he needed to get pinned just straight out, but it does give more respect for Rusev, which is nice. But
he didn't necessarily get pinned. The announcers mentioned how he was suffering from an injury from Big Cass.
I agree, but still, getting pinned 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring is a statement in itself. And it helps Rusev, who I love that's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But I just like that Daniel Bryan is getting built up a little slower, which I think is another reason why I ended up just signing this contract, because I think he knows they're building something big for him later on, whether it be a WrestleMania match or whatever, maybe this match, or a title match, a title match or a match with Brock Lesnar, which I would be okay with both. I think they'd both be great. But as far as his contract goes, I'm not sure that's even an issue.
For me personally, there's value in Daniel Bryan, a lot of value in Daniel Bryan, and he's working a safer style. So, I mean, like somebody pointed this out, and I agree with them. Like, there's not a lot of promotions that have insurance for wrestlers when they get injured, and WWE has that. You know, they pay for things. They do those things. As much as we want to criticize WWE, and as much as we want to say, "Oh my God, they're doing this all because of Chris Benoit," at the end of the day,
every single time I hear that name, man,
the shiver goes down your spine. Yeah. You get some goosebumps. But I mean, the truth of the matter is, and the fact of the matter is, guess what? These wrestlers now are benefiting from it. They're benefiting from the multiple concussion tests that you get to go through. They're benefiting from the fact, and WWE's always kind of sort of did this, for a long time now. But they really look after you, and they really make sure that you're in good shape to go. Now, sometimes that can be, with Paige. Paige is the only one where I'm like,
well, that or Brock Lesnar cracking Roman Reigns' head open at WrestleMania with elbows.
No, I'm talking about Randy Orton. Randy Orton is more.
It was the same thing. It's the same.
No,
thing. Put a Z-Pack on it.
No, what? What the heck?
I get what he's saying.
What?
He's just saying put some ice on this.
Look,
this guy concussion, just put some ice on it. Get back in the ring next day.
Yeah.
Like CM Punk?
Eric, I never want to wrestle for you if you're a promoter, man. Like, I would be dead.
Like Dr. Heyman? You do know that lawsuit with Dr. Heyman and CM Punk is coming, right?
Yeah, I would be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan might as well stay in the WWE if you have all these marketable matches to do. I mean, we do see a lot of Daniel Bryan.
WWE. Why are we even? If he goes to the independent circuit, that's gonna suck. We're not gonna be able to see him every week.
He's gonna get tons of bookings though. He's gonna make more money, and he's gonna spend more time with his family. I mean, he's working a full time.
I care about myself and my wrestling and me watching wrestling. I want to see certain.
Well, I mean, we see his family every week on Total Divas, Total Bellas. We're gonna see him start this week.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm a selfish wrestling fan. I don't really care about what these guys want. If they're in WWE, that's what I want to see. Okay? Like all these guys in the independent circle, great for them. We'll give you credit, but you still need to come back to WWE eventually or be in the WWE, Kenny Omega, Young Bucks. Because this is where you make the real money. This is where the real fans.
That's not actually true.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Have you seen Brock Lesnar and John Cena's contracts?
Okay, you cannot that's different. That's different.
But you can get yourself. Kenny Omega could get himself over enough to make that type of money. You cannot do that on the independent circuit.
He's making that type of money right now.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's making that money from his bookings. He's making that money from merch. How many a Bullet Club shirt walked into our restaurant the other day that I work at, and I said, "Oh, you're a fan of Bullet Club?" He's like, "Yeah, man, yeah." And I told him about our podcast.
I guarantee Kenny Omega does not make as much money as John Cena. I can guarantee that. There's no. I don't even think he probably makes $1 million a year.
Okay, with all the money that they make and everything. And the schedule, part-time schedule, I want to say. Now, here's the thing. Are they getting enough good matches in? Because most of the Brock Lesnar's matches that he's been having, they're pretty short, if you ask me.
Well, true, like, but it's part of the whole thing. I mean, you can't have a long match with Brock Lesnar unless there's weapons involved.
And these are big names. These are big names that are being in the WWE. You know, guys like Brock Lesnar and John Cena and Roman Reigns, all those guys, okay? Over in the independents, you know, I think the reason why most of these guys, they go back to the independents is because, one, they're unhappy with what's going on in WWE with their schedule. They've been having heat with the boss, or they are just really unhappy where they're at. They're just really unhappy, and the guys over in WWE, they didn't give them enough creativity or good booking, and they said, hey, we're just going to put you in the same spot where you're going to be at. Kind of the same thing what they did to Steve Austin when he was in WCW. And they said, no, sorry, brother, that's not for you. Sorry, man, that's not for you. And they just get unhappy. They're unhappy. And then they just end up saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm out of here. I'm going back to the Indies because I'm pretty sure they'll treat me better. And, of course, I get to see my family. I think that's why people go back to the Indies.
Yeah, too, because they couldn't get themselves over in WWE.
Well, they don't have any plans for them.
There's a reason John Cena never went to the Indies because he got himself over. There's a reason The Rock never went to the Indies. There's a reason when Stone Cold Steve Austin came to WWE, he didn't go back to the Indies.
But have you noticed the time period? It's a different time period now. You have Big Cass,
Well, the Indies are
who
a big
wants to
deal.
get himself over, and he gets heat just for beating up that midget just a little bit more. Yeah, that just which I thought it was funny. I mean, but at the end of the day, this is a strictly political format that the WWE is running now. They want everything under their control. So if you get over on your own, they kind of look down upon that. Look at Rusev. Like Rusev had months of just getting destroyed in his booking, but yet he was getting over on his own. He got over on his own through social media. And we could go back to Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was the first person who did it on his own, and they squashed Zack Ryder. Where is Zack Ryder right now?
Dude, okay, I will say this. When they were in Long Island the other day, I don't get the booking decision, and I don't want to extend on this at all, because we need to get to the what we want to talk about. But
we need to get to the main event.
Hold on. The fact that they didn't have Zack Ryder accept Seth Rollins' Intercontinental Championship challenge, and Mojo Rawley did it instead, made zero sense to me. Wouldn't you want those crowd pops? Like, I get the Owens thing, because Owens and Seth Rollins, that's a good match, so you kind of want to book that maybe before. But the Zack Ryder should have came out in Long Island rather than being in the back and just discussing stuff and going woo 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 with Kurt Angle. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that kind of stuff.
I'm pretty sure Zack wanted to go out there, but being the stubborn guys that they are, they said, hey, we're just gonna put you in the back. You're gonna like it or not.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. And it goes back to my point where it says, hey, these wrestlers get frustrated. They can't be doing what they want to do in the ring. They don't want to do that. And the Indies are going to say, hey, if you want to do what you want to do, go for it, man. Like, this is your moment. Seize it. I think a guy like Cody did the same thing too.
And people are scared to do that in WWE. So when Big Cass goes out and says, oh, I want to add a little bit more heat for my character, and let me pound that midget a little bit more.
My God, man.
Let me pound that midget a little bit more.
I don't even think midget is the correct word to use anymore. Jeez.
Little person, excuse me. I'm sorry, pound that little person. Vince McMahon says, no, you can't do it, damn it. Like, why can't he? Why can't he get a little bit more heel heat on him in order to make himself a bigger star? Because right now, only thing that's going for Big Cass, in my opinion, is his promos and the way he's working with this character. In ring, he's awful. He is the most terrible wrestler I've seen in a very, very long time. And that's saying something. We got Mojo Riley we're watching every week. And I think he may be roasting Mojo Riley.
He's a former Arizona Cardinal. Show some respect.
I don't care about Mojo Riley. That's the reason why he sucks. That makes a lot of sense why he sucks so much. Former Arizona Cardinal.
Now he has every reason why Ryan hates the guy. But here's the thing. I did see there was an interview that they gave to Matt Morgan, and he said that
the blueprint.
Yeah, the blueprint, Matt Morgan. He said that
the blueprint.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, going back in the day.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he didn't like things like that Big Cass was doing to what Bryan said. He said that. He said that yeah, it's gonna get you in trouble, but you know what? I like it. It just shows that he's got balls. That's what he said.
You know what the episode name is gonna be?
He's got balls too.
You know what the episode's gonna be?
Oh boy,
pound that midget.
I don't know. That might get us a little bit in trouble.
Who cares?
All right, so now, because we want to talk about this, great indie segment, by the way. I love when we can talk about indie wrestling.
Lord, that was a long one.
I love when we can talk about indie wrestling and then totally discredit ourselves by talking about this next thing for the next hour or whatever. But so
we can't do an hour.
No, we can't do an hour. No, we're not gonna talk about an hour. But let's make it a chill. Calm down. Calm down over there. But so we're going to discredit ourselves completely as wrestling fans by now discussing this next topic. And I want to start it with Ryan Rants, because I know you are going to be a good starter to this.
I don't know. Maybe.
You're going to be a good starter.
I don't know. It's been a couple weeks. I might be a little rusty.
But, so it is now time for
turn my mic on.
Ryan Rants.
Take it away.
Turn my mic on. Let's talk that talk, y'all. All right. John Cena. Mr. John Cena. I don't know what you're doing out here, bro, but somebody needs to talk to you quickly, because you looking like a bitch out in these streets.
Ooh.
Let me explain something.
Ooh.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me how for so long you can put your line in the sand. If a man puts his line in the sand and he says, I'm going to stand by something, then you have to stand by it as a man. And if you say to Nikki Bella, I'm not having kids, I'm not getting married, and you relinquish on one thing, but yet you're adamant about not having kids, don't go on the Today Show, and say, oh my goodness, I want Nikki Bella to be the mother. I want to be the father of Nikki Bella's children, and I also want to be married to Nikki Bella. It makes absolutely positively zero sense, because John Cena went on the Today Show on Monday and did all of that. And guess what Nikki Bella did? In the words of Chris Brown, Nick and Eric,
Here we go, Chris Brown.
these girls ain't loyal. When told about this on the red carpet at the NBC upfronts, she was laughing with her and Brie Bella and just saying how it's just so funny how this is happening and how this is amazing. And wow, I'm really surprised to hear that. John Cena, you're getting dissed out in these streets. Now, let's be honest here. This is most likely a work. I keep saying this, like, y'all, like, this is just perfect timing for Total Bellas. And then they do all of these. And then when I'm on the way over here, I'm walking over here to the studio, and I'm seeing recommended for you, Nikki Bella, John Cena just being petrified of the baby, of Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan's baby. He was just petrified. Like, so at the end of the day, John Cena, why are you going on national television and making yourself look like, in the words of Chris Jericho, a stupid idiot, in order to try to appease a woman? Like, why? And what's funny is your actions certainly don't speak what your words are saying, because we see you out in the nightclubs, we see you out in the clubs kicking it with these hot girls. Like, it's one thing if you're alone by yourself, or you're kicking it, or you're bringing them over to your house and you're kicking it where you say, hey, no phones, no social media. But John Cena is out here in public actually being seen with these women. How dare him do that? Why? For what reason? And oh yeah, he's growing facial hair too. You know, and he goes on the Today Show and says, oh, I want to marry Nikki Bella and I want to be the father of kids. No, you weren't saying that 5-6 years ago when you first started dating. You weren't saying that 5-6 years ago. You were saying, oh, I'm not going to get married and I'm not going to have kids. And we get it. You wanted to be married to her. But even Nikki Bella said last year when TMZ caught up with her, I remember looking at this, and she said, John Cena doesn't want to have kids, so if he doesn't want to have kids, then we're not going to have kids. So what changed, homie? What changed? Is it because you didn't have a warm body in your bed anymore? Is it because you didn't have a trophy case in your house anymore? And we're not talking about all those WWE championships or those trophies you won in those bodybuilding competitions. We're talking about the trophy known as Nikki Bella. She is not some type of materialistic project or whatever else you have in that house. She is a grown woman who has feelings. And if you make the decision that, hey, I'm not having kids, and she makes the decision, well, I want kids, and you guys mutually split as adults, then don't be crying about it all over on the Today Show and all over the ET Canada and whatever else. By the way, I have no clue why I keep saying ET Canada. I said this 2 weeks ago. They come up on my clips all the time.
What the hell is ET Canada?
It's the same. It's Entertainment Tonight in Canada.
Why do you watch that stuff?
I don't know why they come up on it. And I don't watch it. They just come up on the thing. I click on it, or it just auto plays like on YouTube. But like it just doesn't make any sense to me. So John Cena, what is it gonna be? Are you gonna stick to that line in the sand? Are you gonna go ahead and stick to your gut and what you truly believe, or are you gonna say to yourself, well, I'm gonna be a bitch? Like, are you truly gonna do that? Like, are you gonna let somebody walk over you? And if you're doing this for the cause of Total Bellas, then shame on you, John Cena. Shame on you. I'm the RKJ man, and I'm always shooting my shot for greatness.
Okay. Good one right there. I'm gonna give the exact quote.
We might have to bleep out the multiple bitches though. We might have to bleep that out.
No, we only bleep
Is
out
that defaming?
F-word,
That's not
C-word.
Is that defaming him?
Probably calling someone a bitch seems like defaming. But Ryan, you said it, and what you say on the internet stays on the internet.
Yeah.
Basically, the theme of this rant was promotion for Total Bellas.
Right, that's a good
okay,
point.
that's it.
We just did 4, but
that, in my opinion, is a terrible move. It is a bitchy move, in my opinion, because if you want to promote your own show like that, don't promote it. Don't break up just so you can promote a reality show. We see it all the time. And as wrestling fans, we're heavily invested into this. Like, I'm going to be there on Sunday looking at the demise of John Cena and Nikki Bella.
Sunday?
Yeah, it starts this Sunday.
What?
The demise of John
Okay.
Cena and Nikki Bella.
Oh, okay.
Like, I have to look at what happens. But for me, in my opinion, this is very bad to see. And I'm very upset that John Cena's out here looking like a beta male. Like, he is an alpha male. You need to alpha the hell up, okay? If it didn't work out for you, you need to move on. If they ask you questions about Nikki Bella, say, hey, that's our personal life. Let's move on. Like, or say, hey, I loved her. She's the woman of my dreams, but, unfortunately it didn't work out. Let's move on. And you know what's sad, too? Nikki Bella is out here just laughing at it and just giving, well, I need to find myself. I felt like I lost myself, and I need to find myself. What the heck? What does that mean? Like, what does that mean?
That's some BS. That's what it is.
What
Here's
does
the
that
thing.
mean?
Okay,
Trash.
you know what?
Yeah.
I was okay. Let me just say John Cena's actual quote that he said, just to give you guys the context of because there was a lot of he said. So let me just get the quote.
You need to put the audio on the podcast.
I still love Nicole. I still would love to marry Nicole.
Good Lord.
I still would love to have a family with Nicole.
Hypocritical
And
John Cena.
here it is. The article says he said that despite speculation that he's enjoying the single life.
Which means, is he enjoying Carmella?
Oh.
And I don't. First,
think so.
There's
there's no way.
no way.
No. I don't
Because
think he's enjoying Carmella.
She's on the wrestling circuit, and he's like doing whatever the hell. He's
I don't
doing
think John Cena. I don't think John Cena and Carmella are dating, but I do think John Cena. This whole John Cena Nikki Bella thing is two things: either it's a work, or it's John Cena looking like an idiot. And if he's looking like an idiot right
you
now,
can't go away from bitch now. You called him a bitch too much. You can't call him an idiot. Stick to it. They're not getting. They're not getting.
you gotta bleep
bleeped.
this
They're
out.
not getting bleeped out. The only words that get bleeped out in this podcast that you will never hear are the F word, the C word,
And the N word.
and the N word.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So anything else? Fair game.
Look, I'm just saying. John Cena can't be out here looking like a
John
beta
Cena's
male.
never coming on our podcast. Baby.
Like, he's not gonna come on our podcast, and if he does, I'm gonna tell him the honest truth. Like, you can't.
I 100% guarantee you would not call the bitch to his face.
Oh, I would.
Oh, you would.
I have no problem saying that. To me, in my opinion,
right in the studio.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. And guess what? We've all had situations as men where we've looked bad, but you don't want to amplify how bad you look in a situation. I'm honest with people about how bad things have went with me and girls, but I try not to amplify it unless it truly
that's
truly
Americanized job. To amplify how bad-
I really try not to amplify it. Like for instance, I asked a girl out a few
here we
days
go.
ago,
Here we
and
go.
guess what?
You
She
know what?
said
Here we go.
she said I had a boyfriend, and guess what I said? Okay, that's fine.
Man,
Move
We're
on.
talking about John Cena.
Yeah.
We don't need to hear
Yeah.
your problems on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Like,
Man,
I'm just
you
saying.
got your car back.
But the insurance won't give me my money back.
Some inside stuff right there, man.
Okay. Here we go. Here's my thing about. Let me just say this about Nikki Bella. And I mean no disrespect by saying this, but Nikki, you're not fooling anybody. Okay, we know that your whole life essentially revolves around John Cena. Don't come out here acting all strong that you broke up. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people do that. And men can do this too. But like, we all know
John Cena's doing it.
We all
Actually,
know,
no, John Cena's coming out weak. My bad.
We all know that John Cena kind of has the power in this relationship because he's the one saying, I don't want to get married, or he was saying that for a while, and I don't want to have kids.
She moved into his house.
No, hold on.
She signed
hold
a
on.
75-page
But
cohabitation agreement.
This is going to go to my point. This is going to go to my point. Correct. She's the one who was essentially, like I said, revolving her whole life around John Cena. Hey, I'm going to have to sign the 75-page paper, but I don't care. I want to be with John Cena. He doesn't want to have kids. He doesn't want to get married, but I don't care. I want to be with John Cena. So for her, when they actually break up and John's like, you know what, I don't want to be with this, for her to be acting all strong and all this stuff, it doesn't make a lot of sense because we know she's probably hurting a lot because of this, okay? It's her whole life. Who the hell is she going to go out with next that's more popular than John Cena?
Oh, man.
Nobody.
Right now,
One of the reasons she's so
Man.
popular in the WWE is because she's John Cena's girlfriend. I'm sorry, but that's just the sorry truth, okay? Her going out with John Cena improved the Bella.
Somebody just yelled.
Someone just screamed in the other room. Okay, I don't know. You probably won't hear it because you barely can hear us when we're not talking on the mic. But someone just yelled like they just got shot in the next room. And if they got shot, we ain't doing anything about it because we need to finish this podcast. So sorry, man. I hope you're okay. Okay, but so
no, he's running into Nikki Bella's DM.
yeah.
Nikki Bella.
So oh my, it's so off topic. But so nonetheless, I think I'm gonna say it, I think it's kind of hypocritical for Nikki Bella to be coming out here and acting like she's the one that has the strength in this relationship. We all know it's John Cena. Okay,
it's so funny when
and
the role is on the other foot, man.
And there's
so
men.
funny.
There's men. This happens to men, to women too. There's women that have a lot of the power in the relationship too. So I'm not being sexist by saying that. I'm just saying
ugly guy dating a hot chick.
Exactly. So big cast with Carmella, for example. You know, Carmella has the you know, essentially wears the pants in that relationship. We know,
not anymore.
Well, not anymore because they're broken up. But Carmella, like big cast, come out here saying, "Well, I didn't need her." No, yeah, you do.
Oh, did he really say that?
No, he didn't say that. I'm saying hypothetical. I said
Oh.
if. When I said if, he said that.
Okay.
Ryan, just listen.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention.
Yeah,
This
way too
morning.
excited about this topic, man.
But so it annoys me when Nikki Bella, you know, is with her sister or whatever, and is saying all this stuff because we all know she's probably hurting a lot inside. Just come out, you know. You know, I don't think it's a work either. I think it's John Cena not knowing what the hell's going on in his head right now.
I don't think
You know what I'm saying?
if you don't know what the hell's going on in your head, that's fine. But don't let us know what the hell's not going on in your head in front of the whole world, because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for me when you go out on a public television forum and you run in my morning and I see this thing chew up on my
social media, man,
on my YouTube when I'm looking at our videos to see how it's doing in views, how's things going, and then all of a sudden I see John Cena on the Today Show. And I was like, oh, let me click on this. Oh God, John, no, Jesus, oh my God, he's acting like a beta male out here. I was like, why is he acting like a beta male out here, Dick?
I'm sorry, man, but I think the man's lost. The man's lost. Okay.
That hairdo is lost too. That haircut is lost. You look. All I gotta say is this, John. If you want to get back with her, just freaking make your attempt and really go at it. But the fact of the matter is this: it looks like she's not really buying it anymore. It looks like she's just like, well, I mean, I like him. He's an amazing man, but I'm just need to find. How long is it gonna take you to find yourself, Nikki? How long is it gonna take yourself? 3 months? 6 months, a year, 2 years.
Well, until she
10
starts
years.
losing money on Total Bellas because nobody's watching because John Cena ain't on the show anymore.
Pretty much.
I'll tell you that's what I'm talking about.
Does this make us bad men for saying? Because we're all dudes. You think girls will look at us badly?
It's the same thing if like Daniel Bryan, for example, I don't think would be as popular if he wasn't going out with Brie Bella. I'm just saying.
I think we're trying to be
Brie
fair.
Bella, I think, is more famous than Daniel Bryan.
We're trying to be fair as possible here.
Yeah, it's
I'm
exact
being
same
fair.
thing.
We're being fair. I mean, if this was the other way around, we would be criticizing that woman for doing that.
Exactly.
But the fact of the matter is this: like, when it comes down to it, I didn't see anytime in those early clips of Total Bellas, Total Divas with Nikki Bella, she would always talk about how John Cena's has his house and how John Cena is the WWE face of the company and all these things. And I'm just saying to myself, this is all about status. This is about status.
We didn't even discuss the fact you told us something the other day that she's still staying at his house occasionally.
Well, apparently that was a report that came out, but she refuted that report by putting out on her YouTube.
We're not going to talk about
that she's in San Diego. She's in
not
San Diego living with Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella
Daniel Bryan's gonna love that, doesn't he?
in San Diego.
No,
Daniel Bryan and Nikki Bella, they argue a lot.
Because she's sorry. I'm not gonna talk because I'm eating a banana right now.
Yeah, get that banana. Enjoy that banana, okay?
Yeah, I didn't eat breakfast, man.
Bananas are disgusting.
Why are bananas disgusting?
They're overrated.
No, they're not. It's because you think they look like dicks, so you don't want to eat them.
They provide potassium.
Okay. If you can't bleep my multiple B words, you need to bleep that D word you just said.
I can say dick. Okay, I'll say penis then. Okay, but you can't. Okay, so even though bananas look like penises with their perfect curve, I still eat them. I'm just saying, if if my penis looked like the curve of this banana, I would be very excited and would probably do porn. I'm just saying.
The curve.
I'm just
He
saying.
said the curve.
The curvature of this banana excites me a lot. I'm just kidding.
Where's
I'm
the
just kidding.
balls?
That was a- that
Where's
was
the
a
ball?
gay-
Where's the
that was a gay
testicles?
joke.
Where's the
my God,
testicles
this
at
is
that
getting-
banana?
This is getting awkward.
Where's
man.
where's the testicles?
I know. I'm
Yeah,
not
your
talking-
fingers right there.
Yeah, here you go. Right here. Let me. So I know you get excited when you see penises. So
Getting awkward,
so-
man.
Let's talk more about John Cena, okay? Let's talk about more John Cena Brie. Nikki Bella. I think this is all a work because if you look at it, and I was paying attention to this, Nikki Bella's liking his stuff on social media.
it's not a big
She's
deal.
tagging him on social media. And I believe if you're truly over someone, over an ex, you gotta unfollow them and block them on social media.
That's the advice that you would give to both of them on what they would do. But I think, they probably worked it out. I don't know. They probably talked with each other and they said, hey, we're just going to have a mutual friendship, but we're not going to, do anything over exaggerating,
They didn't work it out because he's clearly going on the Today Show begging Nicole to beg him back,
He's
bring
not
him back.
begging. You heard the quote.
That's what that's pretty much begging. I love Nicole. I want to be the father of her children. Nicole, if anybody's asking out here, I am not enjoying the single life. What all this stuff just makes it sound like I'm just getting on my knees and begging. Ain't too proud to beg, like in the words of Temptations. Like, because that's all he's doing. All he's doing is begging. And for me, in my opinion, like I've been there before, bro. You start losing credibility and you start losing respect with women who are attracted to you. They start seeing you out in these streets begging a woman who clearly doesn't want to take you back at this point in the game. And guess what? They're going to say, oh man, this dude is a beta male. No matter how much money you can have, if you look like that, women aren't going to go for that. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And he's making his status go down and down and down. And it makes you look bad in Hollywood's eyes too, which he's trying to get into. Perception's reality, okay? And perception is everything. What is one of the 48 laws of power, Nick and Eric? Protect your reputation at all cost. John Cena needs to protect his reputation at all cost. Period. And he's losing his reputation. He's losing his value in our eyes because he wants to go on the Today Show and beg for a woman who he said adamantly, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. Then all of a sudden he wants to change his mind just because he spends a few lonely nights in his house. I spent lonely nights at my house for 20-something years. So who cares?
Jeez, man.
Who cares if you're spending lonely nights at your house, if you're sad and depressed? Guess what? Get up out there, keep yourself at work busy, put your head down and move on. And when the time comes for you guys to reconcile, reconcile. Period. Come on.
I'm learning a lot about the
Damn.
RKJ man today.
Hey,
that.
for you single
Tell you
guys
that.
out there and to the single women out there, take some notes from the RKJ man. Gotta say.
You fail in life and you move on. You fail in life and you move on. You fail with women and you move on. You make
Life
mistakes
lesson, man.
and you move on. Like, what more do you want from this dude anymore? Like, I don't get it. And she's just she's gonna drag it around. Man,
Ryan
whatever.
is so heated about
This
this
is
topic.
ridiculous.
He's
This
so-
is
I
this is a
think
waste of our time.
Ryan, I feel like, has been focusing on Nikki Bella and John Cena more than anything else in his life
Look,
the last couple days.
This
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I've had a freaking final. I'm pretty stressed out about that too. So maybe that's what I'm. But no, no.
I think we're doing a good job of promoting the next season of Total Bellas. And
Total Bella's 9
yeah,
o'clock Sunday
and-
on E! Network.
yeah, and the guys from E better use this little audio clip, this little audio file, including into this promo package.
Well,
you
here's
know,
the problem with that, though. I just mentioned the curvature of penises in this segment, so I don't know if it's the best one to send to E. If we're going to send one to E, we need to re-record something and not have me talking about the curvature of bananas compared to penises
Yeah.
and how Ryan likes dick and all this
Whoa,
other stuff.
whoa, whoa,
I'm just saying.
whoa.
I'm just saying. Okay. Speaking of dick, we need to we need to move on to Nick's completely random and random topic of the day.
Oh my god, this
And,
podcast might go a little long.
No, this is gonna be real quick. Name one. Okay, so since
Oh,
we're
God.
talking about we're talking about stuff. Each of us are gonna name an embarrassing thing that we do that's weird or whatever that we do. That's what that's the segment. We're talking about John Cena. That's pretty bad what he's going out there doing on
the
on
Today
TV.
Show
On TV, exactly, on one of the most popular shows in America.
on network
So,
television.
I feel like if John Cena is willing to go embarrass himself on TV, we should at least be able to embarrass ourselves on this podcast for the next 2 minutes and give something that you do that's weird or unusual that you feel like you can share.
Start with me first.
Well, because you're on that side of the room. That's fine, yeah. I mean, if you want me to start,
I
can
talk
do
to
it.
myself. I mean,
You talk to yourself.
yeah, I talk to
Bombshell
myself.
from the RKJ
Yeah.
man that Ryan talks to himself. I mean, we all talk to ourselves.
Yeah,
Do
I
some
talk to
real.
I talk to myself.
Some real that's weird that people wouldn't
I
know.
don't know.
We all
I
know you
to-
talk to yourself. We
I-
hear you talk to yourself on the podcast.
Yeah,
all
I
the time.
talk to myself. Let's see. I don't know.
Want to go first?
Yeah, go first.
For some odd reason, I have to do things on like hour marks.
What?
Like when I'm like walking up to school, I have to like leave my car at like 7 o'clock exactly. I can't leave the car at like 6:57. It's a I don't know why. I like on 30s and hour marks. That's when I like do things. It's very strange. I don't know why I'm so chronologically. My brain is so chronologically wired. But I have to like do things at like 6:30, not 6:23. It's very strange. And I don't know why I do it, but that's just something I do.
Okay, well, I'll go second so you can get some time, Ryan.
I still don't have anything.
No,
Yeah,
you get
okay.
some time to admit
Yeah.
something because he's not trying. He's trying to hide.
I mean,
I'm not trying to hide
he's
anything.
trying to
I
hide,
thi-
man.
I think it's easier for me to point out an embarrassing moment more than embarrassing things that I do. But
That's fine. That's
Uh,
fine if it's a good story.
I think, well, besides ripping my pants, which happened many years ago. But I think for me, probably the most weirdest thing or embarrassing thing that I do most of the time is I always tend to arrive to school or class like an hour early. I don't know.
That's
why.
not embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
It's,
not-
to me,
that's
it's kind of creepy.
It is
Yeah.
kind of weird though.
It is, yeah, it is
kind
weird.
of weird though.
It is weird because
because he doesn't. She shows up to the podcast like 2 minutes late.
yeah.
So
He did show up to SmackDown super late though,
wait, what?
or Raw. He showed up to Raw late. He
Yeah.
did show up to Raw
Yeah,
late
man,
at
what
my
the hell,
house.
man? He showed.
Okay.
This is good because
Yeah.
now it is weird that he shows up to class an hour
Yeah.
early.
I
But, like
sh-
things he actually likes to do. He shows up.
I
late
show
to.
okay.
It's
I don't
good
know
he
what it
said.
is, but okay. I can tell you about for Raw. I was stuck in traffic. There was a car in the
That's actually
middle
fair.
of
That's fair.
of the freeway that it stopped. The battery just gave out on him, and that's why I was late. But
So what? My car got caught on fire.
well, this was in the middle of the freeway. And so it cost all of us to go in a very slow pace, and that's why I got late.
But so
But
what do you do in that hour before class?
okay, what I do is I think that okay, if I'm here an hour early, I'll probably just study for a little bit. But now that nobody's here, okay, I'll just go to the station, just kill time.
So,
But
there's
just not to
literally-
make it
there's-
awkward.
There's literally no reason for you to show up an hour early.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that's actually a good one. I
I
like
don't
that.
know. I don't know
It's very
because
strange that he shows
because
up an hour early.
my dad
Yeah.
does that too. He also shows up like 30 minutes early or an hour early to some event or whatever he has to do. For me, I don't know. Maybe I might have inherited that, or I might have
You probably did.
or
Yeah.
I'm just so scared of coming late. That's it.
That's fine.
Let's see. What can I think? I used to love
Admit something. Let's
having
go.
a rolly book bag. I used to love having a rolly book bag. I used to have a rolly book bag, and I would use it going to work and everything back at my old job. And like, I'm gonna be honest with you,
I'll tell you
people
this, man.
said it was stupid, but I loved having
tell
my
you this,
rolly
dude.
book bag.
You know what's embarrassing? That you call it a book bag.
Oh, what?
It's called a backpack. man. We
Whatever.
live in California.
Book bag, backpack, it's the same thing.
it's
I used
not.
to have a
Calling
rolly.
it a book bag
I mean, they
is
see
a
me.
very
roll-
nerdy way to say that.
well, guess what?
just saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Let's see. Oh, I sent this girl a DM once. That was the worst DM in the history of
Can
DMs.
you, okay, this is a good one. we have this. I could have said this too. But can you just say the DM? What did you say? This is good. This is funny stuff.
God, give me my phone. Let me get my phone.
We're gonna
Actually, did I block her? I think I blocked her.
God.
Yeah, I think I blocked her.
Yeah. No, you know what? Let's just say what embarrassing is. Ryan blocks chicks for no reason on social media because he doesn't want to accidentally DM them. That, that's going to be worse than whatever this is right here. He's not going to be able to read the DM that he's going to talk about because he blocks chicks for no reason.
That is kind of weird. but I have yet to hear what he's going to say right now. So the anticipation is waiting.
Ryan, we don't got a lot of time. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I don't have a lot of time too. I gotta write this essay for with
Hour
these girls.
15 in.
All right. What is it I need to say? Oh yeah. So anyway, I DM'd this girl that I was into. Actually, I was more into her friend, way more into her friend. But I couldn't talk to her friend because at the time, things were kind of difficult. I'm trying to keep this very vague because people are gonna figure out who this is really quickly. But I DM'd her and I I was like, hey. I know you only date bad boys or whatnot, but I run with scissors. I said I run with scissors, and what else did I say? God. I said I run with scissors, and I stay up past my bedtime or something. And the girl just flat out started laughing. And when I asked her friend who I was cool with, who I liked, she was like, "I know, I saw it and I died." And I was just laughing. Yeah,
that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's the worst DM ever. That was the worst DM.
I give you credit for saying that on the podcast.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was the worst DM ever. It was the worst DM ever.
Run with scissors.
Yeah, I run with scissors, and I was, and I had no problem. My
serial killer.
I'm Dexter. I'm the Black Dexter. I can't.
My God,
dude,
where did you go? What were you outside her house with a knife when you sent that?
No,
DM?
I said no because I was with my friend,
goodness.
and we were thinking about something stupid because she always liked dating bad guys and whatnot and doing. And I was just like, why does she keep doing this stupid stuff? I was like, so you know what? I was like, I'm gonna DM. So I told her I was gonna DM. I was like, no, I'm not gonna say it. My friend's like, no, do it. He's like, this is hilarious.
Who the hell's your friend that told you that was?
We're
a
not
good
friends
idea?
anymore.
Oh,
we're not friends
exactly.
anymore. We're not friends anymore.
Told you to say a DM like that, please kick me off the podcast.
We're not friends anymore. Let's just say that. Let's just say it's ended between us.
Hilarious.
Our friendship is ended. But you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, you learn a valuable lesson from that type of stuff. Don't hit girls with that weak stuff. Like don't hit the. I've done a lot of other stupid stuff, but I think that was the top of the chair in terms of stupid.
That might be one of the best DMs I've ever heard.
I've told you this, Nick. Like I've told you this.
I don't remember the scissors.
Yeah.
The scissors
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you the scissors part. Yeah, man, that was awful. It was terrible. It was really bad. But I learned. Like, you can't do that. But you know what? At the end of the day, I got out of my comfort zone because I had a huge fear. So I got out of my comfort zone, and you know what I learned? There's some things you can't say. There's just some things you can't say. You can't text girls 3-4 text messages. You can't have a long text, and I'm a long texter. So you gotta condense it down a little bit sometimes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. That's Nick's totally non-random.
That was good.
Yeah.
One of the best DMs I've ever heard in my life.
It took a while, but I figured it out.
All right.
I figured out what was embarrassing.
So,
all right, let's hurry up and finish this so I can write my paper.
And the podcast there was a UFC 224 was last Saturday. Just going to give you the results of the fights. Mackenzie Dern, hot prospect right now. I don't mean like in that way. I mean she's a top prospect in UFC right now. She defeated Amanda Cooper, another top prospect. First round rear naked choke after a couple of nice right and left hands. Yeah. Could Dern's next fight be for the title? One of the controversies about this though was that she showed up 8 pounds overweight to the fight.
What?
Yeah, really? 8 pounds. Just totally disrespected the fact that there was a weight limit. So a little bit of controversy there, but she kind of ended up whooping Amanda Cooper's ass, so it didn't matter that much. Okay. Kevin Gastelum upset Jacare Souza by split decision. Gastelum should get, based on a lot of people saying, the winner of the Robert Whittaker Yoel Romero big main event for the the middleweight division. Middleweight division. So he could be the next contender. And then the main event was Amanda Nunes, the one of the pound for pound best female fighters in the UFC, defeated Raquel Rocky Pennington. 5th round stoppage. This was all. Pennington actually gave up after the 4th round, but her corner did something that corners aren't supposed to do, and they told her, "No, you're staying in the fight." Pennington clearly had a broken nose. Yeah. She was bleeding profusely, and let's just say this: I've never seen blood pour out of someone's face quicker than I saw it pour out of Pennington's face in the 5th round when Nunes hit her in the nose again. Man, it was brutal. Like it was like John Cena at Judgment Day. That one. It was bad. But so controversy there. Amanda Nunes, I think what a lot of people say is her next fight probably needs to be against. Oh my God, how am I forgetting
Is
her
it
name?
Home or Cyborg?
No, Cyborg. Yeah, Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, Chris Cyborg. Yeah.
Which would be a super fight. But yeah, to me, there's no clear bantamweight competitor that can beat Nunez. If you look at the division, there's not a lot of talent. But this was also the first openly gay fight. Both UFC fighters were gay.
Yeah.
Coming into this fight, so
what does his sexuality matter anymore?
No. I'm just saying.
Like, why do we care about this?
No, we
anymore?
don't care. We don't care.
It's
but
old
it was,
news, man. Where you got to come out and tell people.
I'm just saying what they said. I don't care. I'm just saying it shows you that the sport is progressing or whatever, and
right.
There's two of the people in the main event of a fight. You don't see.
I would hope you would progress. You beat people's face in for a sport.
Though, give me another sport that's had 2 gay competitors in the main event.
WNBA.
You don't know they're all lesbians. Come on. That was a good. That caught me off guard, though.
Damn it, right?
I honestly did not think there was one, and then when you said WWE, I was like, oh, okay, maybe there was.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
But so, I just wanted to mention that.
Nunes is definitely dangerous.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she's fantastic, dangerous, and also if she's gonna go up against Chris Cyborg, she's gotta really up her game up because Cyborg is also another contender that she is also
there was a Reddit thing that came out and said that if Nunez and Cyborg faced each other, who would win? And the consensus was that Cyborg would essentially kill her in the first round. So do you guys think that Cyborg is that good? Because I think Nunez is a damn good fighter.
Yeah, she is.
And I don't get the disrespect shown to her. I get Cyborg's a once in a lifetime talent, and is probably better than Ronda Rousey was in the UFC. But I don't get how you could just say Nunez would just get knocked out in the first round.
Well, Nunez, she is good. Like I like her. She proved that with people like Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey, and also with Holm. Okay, so she definitely has like a resume on the people that she beat. Now with Cyborg, I know this is more of an understatement, but think of her more like a female version of Stipe and Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay,
I think more of a Stipe, or if you want to say John Jones probably. But Cyborg, she's a killer. So for that fight to happen, maybe Cyborg and Nunes. The chances are with Nunes up against Cyborg, I don't know. It's kind of slim because Cyborg, she would kill her, but I think Nunes will try to hold on her own and try to throw in a couple punches. But I think Cyborg will get the upper hand.
Cyborg's just a different animal, man. Yeah, she is so good. But I just don't get like how everyone's just discrediting Amanda Nunes that quickly. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think if you like, we're gonna see this Daniel Cormier Stipe fight come up.
Yeah,
I'm giving both guys a chance. A lot of people saying, "Oh, Stipe's gonna win" or whatever. Hey man, I don't care if Daniel Cormier is 40. He's a damn good fighter.
Oh, he is.
And so there's not a lot of disrespect going in there. I don't get why there's disrespect. Amanda Nunes has defended her title 4 times now?
Yeah,
or three times and has won the title in the 4th.
Well, also they probably do the same thing for John Jones if he goes up against Brock Lesnar in the future. You know, who knows?
I would give John Jones the fight though.
Yeah,
Brock Lesnar not being in the UFC a lot, you're not going to be like putting him as the winner. But
right,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy like Lesnar, he's definitely got a whole list of guys I'm pretty sure he would love to face, and maybe for us fans, we would like to see. You know, Stipe, Ngannou, also John Jones, and also maybe Mark Hunt again. Who knows? I don't know, because Mark Hunt, he's pretty pissed. He was pretty sad, pretty pissed off about that fight.
But I mean, if Lesnar's gonna make a big comeback, it's got to be either for the title or against a legitimate heavyweight contender. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the only reason, and sorry, we always get on Lesnar, but if Lesnar's going to come back, it either has to be for a #1 contenders match or a title fight. I don't really want to see him just fight another fight. We already saw that with Mark Hunt. So I want to see him get a chance at fighting for the title or literally get a title fight, if that makes it. When I say it's #1 contenders match or a title fight. I think you guys could agree with me on that, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Lesnar's too big, too box
Ryan,
office.
what's your take on if
Cyborg
Cyborg
will kill her?
Yeah, I know. I can't wait for Cyborg's next fight. But it's just. But the thing is, both women, when you watch them fight, they are just clearly better than the opponents they face. So I made this notion about boxing, but I think a little bit this could happen with UFC too. It's starting to get that a lot of the champions, the heads of divisions, are just better than a lot of the other divisions. I get that makes sense with the title holder, but like, I don't know. I think super fights are the next big thing in UFC. It's why
People have to cross over.
Well, exactly. And it's why they're saying Khabib should fight George St. Pierre. He should fight Conor McGregor. And it's like they're not saying Khabib should fight Kevin Lee. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what I'm saying. I'm just so I don't know.
But that's how the sport works, and that's how America works. We are attracted to seeing big stars fight each other. We want to see that.
True.
We want to see that. So
Yeah.
if you want to, if that falls in line of big stars fighting each other, then yeah, I want to see that match. I want to see that fight. I want to see what happens when two giants collide.
Yeah.
That's just how I want it.
Or maybe like two styles like MMA and boxing, like with McGregor and Mayweather. That's always interesting to see as well.
But McGregor is a pay-per-view star. Period. He's a pay-per-view star.
He's also not a boxer.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. But anytime Mayweather does a boxing event, it grosses so
because he's
much
such an asshole.
money.
So it's like people just want to see him get his ass kicked.
We talked about that in the Money Trees episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money
Exact-
trees running
exactly.
wild, brother.
Okay, so and then just so to talk more, a little more UFC news. The heavyweight Grand Prix in Bellator is now in its final four after Ryan Bader beat King Mo Lawal with a one-punch knockout in
God.
15 seconds at Bellator 199. So just to recap, because I don't think we've talked about this yet, the Bellator Grand Prix for the heavyweight championship is going on. It's a tournament to see who's going to be the next heavyweight championship. They don't have normal fights. They have this Grand Prix to crown their champion. Chael Sonnen beat Rampage Jackson.
Oh, wow.
Matt Mitrione defeated Roy Nelson. These didn't all happen at the last event. These happened over time. Fedor Emelianenko beat Frank Mir. And Ryan Bader, like I just mentioned, beat King Mo Lawal. So it's going to be Sonnen versus Fedor. What a fight that's going to be. But Sonnen looked really good, and so did Fedor. And then Ryan Bader versus Matt Mitrione. That's the final four fights. And eventually there will be the championship match for the heavyweight championship of Bellator.
Damn.
Now, most of these guys are out of their prime now, but nonetheless, it's still interesting to watch, and it's free on Spike. So,
Yeah, definitely.
or
So
that's like Paramount Network or whatever it's called. But
yeah,
so,
I think it's Paramount Network.
yeah, so this is something you could watch without having to pay money or illegally stream it like I have to do for the UFC. But so also,
They're gonna start taking down all your sites that you.
hey man, strikeout.me. Strikeout.me. I'll just say it out here. It works. It's a site that comes up when you start typing in strikeout. Because I erase it from my search engine every single time just to make sure I don't get those porn cookies that come on my computer. And that could be, those porn cookies could be for something else, but I'm going to say they're from the UFC stream. But nonetheless, also Triple G with a dominant knockout in the second round of his last fight. So we're all waiting. Exactly, we're all waiting for that Canelo fight. I think the rumor is September. Hopefully, it actually happens. So we don't make a day out of it, and then it doesn't happen. So
Canelo.
Nonetheless, just wanted to mention that. Wanted to mention the UFC. Wanted to mention Bellator before we end, because I think we got to finish up this podcast.
Yes.
guys.
Yeah, I gotta do an essay.
Yeah.
Well, before we finish that off, I want to give a special shout out to a friend of ours, because I know I told him that I was going to give him a shout out. Shout out to my good buddy Luke. He's got his own YouTube channel called Remy from the Memory Lane. Check him out on YouTube, Twitch, and also stay tuned, because we're going to be doing some more good stuff on the Video Game Cafe, Twitch, over. I don't know what game we're going to be putting in for me and Luke, but we can promise you that we ain't coming alone, because who knows? Maybe the Ring Generals, we might do something with the Video Game Cafe during the summer. Don't know.
Possibly.
No, we definitely are talking about doing something with Twitch, right, Eric? Like we wanna experiment with Twitch. We're trying to get as much content out there during the summer. Like we want everybody
summer's gonna
talking.
be different. You're gonna see a different look from the Ring Generals. for
Everybody,
sure.
everybody wants everybody. We want everybody talking about the Ring Journals podcast. So if you got a friend, you got somebody you know, even if they don't like wrestling, you can just put them on Nick's totally random segment of the day,
Exactly.
and you'll hear gems like me talking about sliding in girls' DMs.
Yeah.
Or
Running with
Nick, or I
scissors.
could talk about Nick and a few weeks ago. We went to that conference with the old girl. We can talk about.
We really need to talk about that.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
can talk
so,
about
yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah, I gave my embarrassing story. I might
I
have
already
to
gave my
read
best
it.
story, man. I'm gonna, I'm gonna.
You
kill
missed
my-
your shot.
I'm gonna kill myself, because we're not gonna be done right at 9:45.
You missed your shot. You missed your shot.
Okay, wait, okay, here we go though. But so, everybody promote their social media before we gotta end this.
All right.
Ryan, I'm sorry, RKJ.
At
Go ahead.
RKJman21, I guess on Instagram, Facebook at the RKJman, Twitter at the RKJman, and yeah, give us a like and subscribe to us on YouTube and SoundCloud. It's the Ring Generals. We putting up that great content every day, y'all.
Check me out on Instagram at Santo, and also check us out on ocrockradio.com, because if you want to hear more about wrestling, I got my own show on Slam and Saturday at ocrockradio.com, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific, and I talk about wrestling and also throw in a couple of wrestling tracks here and there, so stay tuned.
Totally. And you can follow me pretty much at Nick Nenad, lowercase, on most of my social media. I think my Snapchat is Nick_Nenad. For some damn reason, I made that true. And then I also have a podcast that I do on Wednesdays called the Cover 2 Podcast. And normally I don't like to promote, but since everybody else threw their own shit out there, I'm gonna put my own little thing right there. I do a podcast with my homie Jared Smith on Wednesdays. You can check it out. I'm sure if you follow me on social media, you already knew that anyway.
And I did hear that gambling is now legal.
Yes, sports gambling is now legal. So my gambling addiction just got a lot worse.
Like all across, that was confusing because it's like legal in Nevada, so what? It's
just, I think that the federal government has made it legal. It used to be illegal based on the federal government, but now they're just saying states, if you want to make it legal, you can. So they assume it's a lot like the marijuana thing.
Well, a lot of relationships are going to get destroyed now.
100%. That and Fortnite ruining relationships left and right.
Yeah, it's ruining relationships left and right. But you know what? As always, raise a glass in the sky and salute the Ring Generals.